Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at a scenario where the world restarted. We're on episode 5. I know this looks different. I'm sorry. There was a mistake there. No audio went through. Very upset because I wasted a lot of time on that. But anyway, whatever. So, let's go through what happened in that event last time. We had the formation of 3 new countries here, here, and here along the Black Sea coast. We had further expansion of all the colonies. We had a jumping of the pink team here by the purple team, the dark blue team, and of course the Moroccan team, which took a lot of land. As you can see, they're smaller. We also had the blue team had a civil war because they were quite big and they were mismanaging all their provinces. So yeah, they were able to put down the rebellion over here. However, they weren't successful in these 2 provinces. This country down here and here, just like our equivalent of Switzerland. We also have a new country that formed in between here and the expansion over here of all these countries. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do today, so we're going to call this like episode 5.5 because, yeah, there's already stuff that's happened. We're going to have a further exploration into the Nordics. Now even going over into Finland right here. Because remember, this hasn't been discovered yet, right? So the discovery of Ireland and everything. We also have an expedition which lands in Iceland. And remember, these places aren't so cold anymore. So Iceland and Greenland doesn't have a massive ice sheet on it. Yay! We also have expansion over here into the Baltics and the western regions of Russia. We also have an expansion down south here, being made into Central Asia. And the steppes region, which is maybe even farmland. I don't know. We'll see something like this. Nice. Here we are. Got the Aral Lakes. That's Mr. Stalin and Brezhnev and Khrushchev, whatever. That's fault. Here we are. So expansion. We have the rest of the Middle East being discovered, as well as over here, and the Horn of Africa. This is what we got. Something like. Oh no, not that much yet. Here. Oh yeah, I forgot. We also had a first African country. No, a second African country. They found it as like a trading outpost, but then they kind of disappeared because quite far down. Yeah, this is something. This is looking roughly like we've explored so far. Anyway, we're gonna have the formation of a brand new country. We all love new countries, guys, right? Have we had this color before? No, we haven't. Nice. Oh, come on. We had this color before. A little bit more green. Similar, but not the same. Anyway, yeah, let's go. Formation of a new country, this time in a first ever Arabian country forming over here in the Arabian Gulf. They're going to be a good trading outpost, and they're going to stretch along the whole northern coast, reaching parts of southern Iraq, etc. Their capital, I'm not too sure yet. I'll also give another country a capital, as I forgot to do that earlier. Their capital, I'd say maybe northern Qatar, 'cause it's a good spot. We'll also give this French country a capital, but their capital here. Now everyone's got a capital, yeah? Okay, good. And they're going to have a couple of major cities, one on this island, one over here, and one right there. We also have another major city right here. Perfect. Back to the background. We have a new country forming over here in the Horn of Africa, forming around this region. gaining both sides of the Bab el Mandeb Strait. Nice. Cool looking country there. Haven't had an expedition to Socotra just yet, but yeah. We also have a new country forming. Should we put a new country in Norway, forming something like this? I think that looks good, actually. Can't wait to get later on in the series with me have like big world wars and everything. And so I'm gonna go pretty detailed into wars, military bases, camps, whatever. Whatever you guys want, let me know. Yeah, here we go. Their capital is gonna be right here on the peninsula. Cool looking spot, actually. And they're gonna have 2 or 3 cities. One right here, one there, and one in there. And the final country to form for now. What have we not had yet? Purple, pink, red. We haven't had this color. So we're gonna have this pinky purple kind of color. Country forming up here. Oh. Forming up here. Stretching all over here. Quite a big country, actually. But they look good as well. We're going to call them the Magenta team. Yeah, I like Magenta. Actually, like a Minecraft. The capital right here. As well as some more smaller major cities. One in here, and one down south. Or maybe one to form one if you want. Anyway, enough of more countries, because I know that might get a bit boring. So, guess who's the next country to split in half? The dark blue team. You may be thinking, whoa, but they just won a war. Yeah, but they're not going to win this one. Or maybe they are. I don't know. You'll have to think. Well, now as you can see, they've just followed in the footsteps of their original owners, as now they're quite large, yeah, and very long, and their capital's all the way up in the north. So everything below like this line is really, and maybe excluding the colony, is not really looked after. But you never know. The colony might want to not be a colony. That's an option, right? Or the colony might want to join other colonies. That's also an option. Or just disappear. But I doubt that's really an option. Anyway, so they can have a civil war, just like the blue team. But unlike the blue team, because remember, the blue team's still pretty strong. They just lost a couple mountain areas and stuff, whatever. Other countries might get involved, might or may not. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna have it. Oh, wrong layer again. Have a rebellion forming down here on the Spanish coast, with them pushing up and splitting this part of the country off, capturing all of this land here. They'll continue to advance. Okay, that looks too much like the ocean. Okay, that looks better. They'll continue to advance, capturing this major city over here, and now pushing and even capturing this one over here. Now the dark blue team's like, hey, what is going on here? Why are we losing? They're like, well, we don't want to be part of you anymore. And they break off to something like this. And the westernmost colonies also break off, joining this movement, creating something like this. And yeah, the blue team's not done yet. No. This is in a country that's been looking at them for quite a while. Now you may be thinking, oh, surely it's the green team, or the brown team, or the blue team. No. It's the purple team. You may be thinking, wow, surprise. I know. Purple team forces, after literally just fighting a war with them a couple years earlier, will immediately steam in and betray their ally. Nice. Very good thing to do. They wanted access to the Mediterranean. I mean, who wouldn't? It's a lovely sea. It's very good for trading. It's always been good for trading, even now. And yeah, the Dark Blue team's like, okay, I want to get out this war before I get invaded by my northern neighbor. Because there may not be people with swords, like, right there. But yeah, so they make peace on this random island. They meet together. Let's have a look at the peace treaty. Here you are, this is the peace treaty. We've got a brand new country being formed right here. We also need to fix the city because it's very annoying and it's getting on my nerves. So we just erase. And instead we're going to put a new city here. And the capital of this new country will be right here, as it is a good central location. Yeah, fair enough. The Dark Blue team has been reduced in its size. However, some of its population has fled and made a new city right about here. No, right here. I've also just updated the religion map. So look. Got the new religion map. Brownism, bluism, Nihilism, Greenism, Redism, Iberianism, Moroccan Iberianism, West African Iberianism. It's like the culture kind of spread down here. You can see. And then got Rosianity over here, Cyanity, Crimean Greenism, Anatolianism. Yeah, we got all of that done here. And same with the languages here. There's a lot more languages and religions, of course, but so we got, yeah, pay attention to that. Got Francois, Beneluxians, Maroonish, Orangish, Greenic, Limic. Now notice also if the color is similar to another one, most of the time it will have some relation to the other one. Like, have a look here, especially down here. So we've got the original birth of the language with Greenic, starting in Greece and then spreading to Libya. Then it evolved when it reached the Levant to Limic. Then Turquoisic when it reached Egypt, and when the explorers from Egypt spread down, they made Mandeb Greenic because it's this Bab el Mandeb Strait. Goldish, I don't know, it was just a completely new culture. Anatolian, Cyanian, which was like the Cyan country. Orangish, which is northern Germany, Frisian country, as well as southern Sweden. Got Magentan over here with the Estonian country, or Livonian. Crimean is actually a different language to Greenic. They're just very similar to each other. Ethnically, I mean, like, skin color, whatever. Norwegian, northern, southern Maroonish. Movian, Pinkish. Pinkish is the biggest language. It's spread out and evolved the most. Because most languages have a second one if they're quite big. So Bluish it's got smaller. So the main core areas of blue are here, but it will change eventually. Swabian Bluish, which is this northern country up here. West Bluish is the dark blue country. And then Azorian Francois, which is because France owns this. Right. Pinkish over here, spread down to Moroccan pinkish, which is slightly different. And then as it keeps going down, it gets different and more different. So this is the original, then it gets a little bit different, then it gets a lot different. But it's like, this is 50% similar, 75, 60. No, 65 and then 55. Yeah, they're mostly all fairly similar. But anyway, enough about languages and religion. We're also making a brand new layer, which I'm going to do on camera this time, which is trade routes. Eventually we'll have railroads and etc. We have trade routes here. So now we have to get some arrows, whatnot. Yep, here we are. So you also need the capitals on to see this better. As much as they don't like each other. Oh. We don't do that. So we're going to do black. Or dark grey, yeah. So we have the trade route here. It's going to have major cities on as well. Seeing what where all the trade routes go. Here, north to the city. Here. And then you got here. And we got another thing over here. I just gonna come around. We just got some basic ideas. Not too much. Yeah, these are basic trade routes. I will continue to do this, but so you have an idea of what they're gonna look like. Of course. And then here we are. Something like this, yeah. And of course we need one. It's the French capital. And from Greece. Blue capitals like Venice of the world. Anyway, nobody cares about trade routes. Background. So, where are we? Where did we leave off? Sorry for the little muffle. Oh yeah, I told you to pay attention to this earlier. Now we have the formation of a brand new country. We have formation of the furthest west country ever. They broke away from France because they're, as you can see, they're very far away from like the mainland, and they didn't like that. They wanted to be their own thing, so they could. So small, I have to zoom in to see it. They wanted to look after their own, so I play. They're so small, we're just gonna have to make sure. The Azores is Republic. Kingdom. Here we are, so we put capitals on. Got a brand new country, guys. Let's go. We're gonna put the capital on the first island here. And we're gonna put the capital right here. Because they're quite small, right? And now I feel like it's time for a good old war, guys. Because it's been quite a long time, you know? And how about have a major war? Because we like major wars, right? Well, it's about time, guys. The first red-o-bluish war has officially begun. Let's go. So, zoom in. There will, of course, be. It's going to be the first major war. I'd say we're in about 100 AD at this point. And the first red-o-bluish war is going to spark because of some... First of all, the red team's like, oh, well, we've heard from a while from messengers that blue team's kind of crap now, and because they lost this and whatever. Yeah, so the red team is going to be like, well, this is my chance. So the first battle will take place over here. The red forces rapidly advance into the blue country and capture the city over here, creating a nice solid front line. They also capture this island, and they start to fully advance into the country, approaching the capital. However, they're stopped by forces that come from the capital. Red forces also capture this city over here, and it's not looking good for the blue team. It's really not. With even green forces now deciding this is a good time to enter. Green forces push into the country, and they welcome fairly with open arms to capture the city and continue to push up the peninsula. There's not peninsula, push up this region of the country. Kind of panhandle. And it's not looking good for the blue team, really not. And just as they approach the capital city, both the brown team and the dark blue team will also declare war on the blue team, with brown forces entering in from the west and brown coming from the east. Brown forces capture the main city of their colony, and the blue team does the rest of the work and takes the rest of the land. The blue team also captures these two islands here, and the brown team makes a amphibious landing right outside the city, capturing it as well. They continue to push advance, and this is the colony, the first main bit of land. And then now the battle of the city will begin. But just before that can happen, we have a surprising turn of events. We have the French country declaring war on the dark blue team. Because, well, and as well as the green country, because they think they shouldn't exist anymore. Quite a strong argument, but you never know. Some people like to do that. So, I don't know what country this is. Green forces enter into the south, creating a big push in here. Meanwhile, the French forces push in from the north, capturing all of this land over here, and rapidly advancing and capturing the capital as their forces were away. And the dark blue team is not looking good. They completely collapse. The French team also captures both these islands. And yeah, goodbye. As now this Iberian country also sends forces into the dark blue team to retake control of the region, and the brown team invades, albeit costly, invades into their colony, taking all of this. And yeah, wow, we just lost one country. The first major war of the whole series. We're going to have a timeline of all the stuff, and it's our first major event. And yeah, the blue team is able to use this distraction as a good move to liberate some of their provinces. However, they're only able to reach down to here, where they eventually meet for peace with the red team. However, they're having a little bit more struggles with the brown team, as they've already fortified, and they've got a fairly strong military. However, they are able to push them back to just a city. However, they continue to capture all of this land until eventually they are kicked off of the mainland. And yeah, the war is over. Except, no, it's not. The blue team's not just done yet. They start to fight the green team. They push in rapidly. And now they even start to enter into green team territory before they're like, okay, we get it, chill. Please leave. But not before they capture Montenegro. Or what the modern day equivalent of Montenegro is. Here we are. Let's have a look at a peace treaty. Here we are, there's a peace treaty. And wow, that's quite different. So yeah, we have officially lost our first country. I think, yeah, our first ever country to completely be eradicated off the map is the dark blue team, yeah. Goodbye, dark blue team, we'll miss you. But they got annexed by their neighbors. The French team took all of this land over here, as well as this island. Meanwhile, the green team took this eastern island right here, as well as this area with the two major cities. And the purple team took this region this region. They took this region up here, along with this island and this major city. And the brown team took over all of the blue team's colony. But other than that, after a little bit of territorial loss to the red team, the blue team is still alive. Be a little bit less stronger. And they also annexed a little bit of land over here from Greece. Other than that, not too much. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Adios.